Ooh, another TVT. Alright, guys. Time for game number 7 of our Bronze to Masters series. I'm Nathanias here. We're going to have another TVT. We are currently in Gold League. Our opponent, our last one was a Platinum Terran, but now we have another Gold League Terran, so should be about comparable results. Our opponent will be, his team name is going to be Meth Cherry Poppins, so this should be an explosive game. No, of course, pun intended to either exploding meth labs or cherries, as it were. But this game, we're going to go for another economic build, of course. This Bronze to Masters, we are sticking to our macro builds as much as we can so that we can get a really good perspective on how to properly deal with some of the aggressive timings that you can run into. So this is actually the final game of day 1 of the Bronze to Masters, so this is game 7. We got in through quite a good number of games. We've had some pretty interesting setups. This is only our second TVT, so for this game, I'm going to show you guys the Reaper Expand. It's been a pretty good build using TVT. We're basically going to go 12 barracks, 12 gas, and what this does is it allows you to get up the fastest Reaper possible to do a bit of scouting. And the reason why this build is more so used in Terran versus Terran than any other matchup is because it's a lot easier to scout if your opponent is going for any kind of factory play. We're still going to send out the fast SCV, but typically speaking, you can get a Marine out in time to stop that SCV. You can go for a fast wall off to stop the SCV, and you can just get a Marine out to kill the SCV before you build anything like a factory. So the Reaper gives us a really good I'm getting the hiccups. A really good follow-up scout to our SCV, and then we can immediately expand behind it. It's not a big deal at all. So now the barracks is complete. We're not going to build a Marine. We're just going to wait. We have almost enough gas. There the Reaper begins, and at this point, we're going to actually stop mining gas just so we can get our mineral count up. It's okay if you don't stop mining gas. It's pretty easy to get distracted, but it's not a huge deal at all. So Reaper is on the way now. SCV is going to come up here. It looks like he's going to wall off. His barracks is about to complete. Looks like his barracks was a little bit late, so he might have gone for a gas first build. And it looks like no, I think his barracks is just late. It happens. But now we're going to move our SCV down. We're going to build this command center in our main base because he did open up with gas. We don't want to be vulnerable to our Reaper pulling us apart. And now our Reaper is going to head over into his base. And he's trapped my SCV inside, so I'm just going to use this to scout as much as I can. And there you see his Marine will be able to shut me down pretty effectively. So I do need to get a second supply depot. And what I'm going to do with this barracks is move into a fast tech lab, and we're going to go for really, really fast stim timing out of this, basically. So should be pretty interesting to see. Now the Marine did kill the SCV, so my Reaper will now arrive, and the Reaper gives us the follow-up scout. So come in here, Reaper can kill a Marine head-to-head pretty easily. He's trying to get out more Marines, but now I can see, okay, he's building another barracks. That's interesting. So if he's getting a reactor as well, see, a lot of times a player might think that your opponent could be going for something like a really fast factory play, but this gives us a good opportunity to see what our opponent is doing just because we're able to see that he's going for the second barracks. So this is basically indicative of him going for something like a 2-racks Reaper, basically being able to build 3 Reapers at a time to do a really, really big barracks all-in, as it were, designed to just completely cripple an economy of an opposing player using the speed of the Reapers. Unfortunately, this game was a bit short. He didn't have too much fight in him, but it's just a nice way to scout. And you can use this Reaper opening allows you to punish a lot of greedy Terran builds, allows you to punish a lot of unforesight based builds. So if your opponent does something really, really greedy, either through tech or economy, then you're able to just get a good punch on him. So he tried to get all of his production set up in one fell swoop, and it kind of resulted in him losing this game a lot faster than I thought. But that's going to be it, basically, for game number 6. The Reaper Expand, though, I'm just showing you the way that the rest of this build plans out. You're going to get your stim pack started up. You're going to get your factory, engineering bay as well, prevent against any cloak thing. And you're just going to make constant Marines, constant Marine production. And this basically allows you to just defend possible air attacks, of course, possible Hellbat pushes with stim Marines. Marines do have more range than Hellbats. So with stim, of course, it's a lot easier to defend against Hellions. So in terms of the setup that we have here, it's just a pretty good one. for being a bit defensive yet aggressive at the same time. And the other thing is, you don't have to get the command center as fast. You can produce Marines if you need to. If you scout aggression, you can just build a reactor on your barracks and get out a lot of Marines. It just allows you to prioritize what you're doing a bit differently. And as you can see, I'm saturated now in my main base. Going to move over to the natural. And then you can just follow this up with basically reactors whenever you want. You can get a starport. And then this gives you a really, really nice timing because stim is going to be done around the 8.5-minute mark. And that's also right before your medevacs come out. So it gives you really, really good aggressive opportunities. And you can see I can start my +1 attack as well. Won't necessarily be done in time for that, but it still gives you some pretty reasonably decent aggressive options. And like I said, having a lot of Marines can deal with things like Banshees pretty well. You get the engineering base for missile turrets if necessary. And I think that's just about it. I just wanted to give you guys a bit of an idea of this build. And yeah, so that is going to be it for game number 7 and day 1 of our Bronze to Masters series. And I'm just going to go right up to the point where I drop so you guys can see how to properly do it. So you see, everything lines up. I can get all these medevacs out. I can also get supply blocked as well. Yeah. Well, well, yeah. So that's going to be about it, guys. So thank you for tuning in. That's been game number 7.